Good morning, Quasar Markets Live. We have a special treat for you today. Our man Big Beat's been able to bring one of the legends in the option trading world over to Quasar Markets to help share some insights. I have Todd Bubba Horowitz with me today from Bubba Trading. Bubba, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I was looking up, I actually going to share it here. I was looking at your website a little bit earlier here. And, I have to say, I worked for a gentleman that you might know. Did you know Scott Bauer when you were over on the trading desk?
I know Scott well, yep.
I worked for Prosper, did some crypto trading for him back in the day.
Okay.
Big fan of SIB. So when I saw your background, I was like, man, this is one of the guys you want to learn from, someone that spent years trading on the floor. Can you give me a little bit of background about yourself and about Bubba Trading?
I was a 30-year floor trader, and when the floor dried up, I became a retail trader like everybody else, and also then became an educator because I was tired of watching people lose their money without any clue of what's going on. So we teach a lot of different strategies and how to best take advantage of the market structure when you have the opportunities, and very much high probability trading.
Yeah, I have to say, you have an impressive list of services and products that you guys offer over there. I'll also mention, I have to put it back on the bottom of the screen, and I have all of the ways you can find Bubba Trading through their Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of that. I did notice and subscribe. Every day you get on there and give a market update in the morning for free, which is amazing. And it was not just a quick rundown. You went through all of sort of the futures of what was going on, from pork futures to cryptocurrency to stocks, equities, and such. So you really do share with people a lot of your insights. I love to see that.
I disclose my open positions every time I talk. So
yeah, you sort of have to after that, for sure, or at least tell people where you are, which you did very well in there. We always like to disclose them. What brought you over to the education side?
Well, when you're sitting around and you don't, on the floor, you have no time, right? But when you're playing, when you're trading on a screen, there's a lot of free time. So I decided to start to educate. And in fact, actually, I built a program for kids, for high school kids. And I actually had a program in high schools for a while until COVID. So it was.
That's awesome. I love, it's one of the things that draws me to Quasar Markets is we're trying to level the playing field for the average retail, investor. So many don't understand the way that these things work. And, what I thought was interesting, I saw in some of your products, you actually have everything from watching trading full day in a live trading room will look like, to if you just want to follow signals, you have the ability just to follow signals. I saw on some of them, especially your weekly program there.
We have a lot of programs. Some are automated and are done with a lot of direction so that people don't have to watch the markets all the time if they don't want to. We've got an automated hedging program that hedges your current portfolio on your own specifics. So we try to make people, at least help them save their money and try to make more money and protect their long-term investments, as well as learn how to trade in short term. I mean, I trade live every morning with my members for an hour. So
that's awesome. That's the type of things you can't learn from just trying to read books or YouTube videos. It's so important to be able to see how traders trade. We talk about it here, especially professional traders that have been doing it for years. I got to ask, we're looking like we're having the animal spirits are back this morning and running. You think you buying this run up, this continuation, or you think we sell off here in the afternoon?
Well, actually, we were long into this, and I had a position on that capitalized pretty well off of this move. But no, I think that this is a selling opportunity. I think we were very much oversold, and a dead cat bounce was coming, and a little bit of a short squeeze. And I think that's what you're seeing. And I'm actually looking to sell probably another 2 or 3% higher in these markets if they run. If they continue to run, I'll be short by the end of the day. But right now, I'm pretty much flat. I'm pretty much out of my longs. But again, if you look at the probability in markets, we were extremely oversold coming into today, and we assumed a bounce. I mean, I wrote Monday, beware of the bounce. So that's something that I think is important to understand, and understand how markets work. And when they get so oversold, there's a big chance that there's going to be a rally. It doesn't mean it's going to last, but there's a chance there's going to be a rally. And when they get overbought, there's a good chance there's going to be a sell-off. And again, we rotate around the mean. And I think that's what people need to learn and need to recognize.
You just nailed it. So many people are perma bulls, and that can get you in trouble, or perma bears. You got to play the market in front of you. With that being said, how are you playing the market any more differently now, where there seems to be more upward and downward volatility as opposed to 6 months ago when it was sort of, definitely in the middle of a bull market?
No, I don't think. I think that you really have to learn to trade the same all the time. I think that that's something that people have to recognize. Is you have to learn to recognize the charts. I have a saying, my members will tell you all the time, all charts are the same, all patterns repeat. The shortest time frame is always going to lead where the markets are going in general. So again, I think that price volatility has been actually lacking. Volume has been lacking. So it's been a much more challenging market to trade over the past few months. I think now we're starting to see a little bit more action, and now maybe we'll see an opportunity. But I think that for the average guy out there, average gal out there, the average person out there, if you watch the markets and learn to read the charts from the shortest time frames to the longest time frames, I think you also want to recognize that at the end of the day, you will find opportunity by, if the VIX is going higher and the market's going higher, there's a high probability the markets are going to fall. If the VIX is going lower and the markets are going lower, there's a good chance the markets are going to rise. So again, those are just little tips and trades that we can try to find out when we're trading markets. And I think that's what, if you recognize those things, I think you'll be much happier and in much better shape as you go forward. So I think that's something to look at. Again, you're really trading a math probability model. It has nothing to do with the news. It has nothing to do with what's coming out. The news makes the market react, but what you have to learn to is how to react to the markets after the news comes out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. What we've seen is an explosive move to one side, and pretty quickly they've been either bought off or, bought back in on those explosive moves. So I definitely see that. Are you, what we've seen, or what a few of the educators, including Big Beat, have been doing, is taking profits a little bit quicker. Don't be, waiting for that last nickel, so to speak, because, you don't want to get run over that steamroller on the wrong side of that nickel.
Well, I think that if anybody thinks that they can sell the top or buy the bottom, they should go have their head examined. Okay.
Only one person can do that, right?
You got to take the money when you can get it. And it doesn't mean you take them too quickly, but you want to use, for example, you want to use a shorter term time frame when you're looking to exit. So if that shorter term time frame starts to go opposite of what your position is, then you trigger a trade and you get out of that trade and take the money and go. And I think that's what people don't understand, is that you have to let the markets and let the charts dictate, or their roadmap, which is the chart. And they will always help you if you continue to allow them and you quit using your opinion. Okay. I think you will find out that you have a much better opportunity in markets to let them go. And when the time frame tells you to change direction or get out, you get out. Don't try to squeeze out the last dime or the last nickel or whatever. Again, you're not going to sell the top. You're not going to buy the bottom. It's that simple. And you cannot continue to put yourself in that position.
Yeah, that's a great tip for our viewers there, because we see that too many times where a good trade turns upside down quickly on them. Have you seen a big change in the market as this increase in zero DTEs has picked up in the last, 6 months to a year?
Well, I've seen some changes. I don't know that they're for the better. I think they're probably more for the worse of what we see. The more they bring in a lot of the technology, I think that we end up, taking away the volatility. And of course, in markets, we love to have volatility. I mean, if you're a trader, you want the most amount of volatility you can get. And,
absolutely.
When you get light volatility, it makes it a lot tougher to trade. And I think that's something that you have to look at. And excuse me looking to the side, but I got some positions that I'm dealing with at the same time.
Yep, no problem. We appreciate your time. We will get you out of here. In fact, in 1 minute, I have one more question for you. If you had your crystal ball, where do you think we are on January 21st? Is the market up or down from where we are today?
January 21st, a week from yesterday. I think we are lower than we are today.
Okay. I just wanted to figure out where you felt there as we were headed into the inauguration. Thank you so much for joining us, Bubba. We're going to have you back a lot. I know Big Beat's going to hit you up. And, what we're trying to do is give retail traders the advantage of experience, the same sort of market information that the big players are using. So having you on here really helps.
I would just say one thing to everybody who's watching: the key in this business is education and learning patience and discipline. Sometimes not making a trade is better than making the trade. And I think that the decision not to trade is also like making a trade. So I think that's what you have
Absolutely. Not trading is a trade. I agree with it. And another thing that I always say with that is, just because you miss one stock, there's still about 10,000 to 13,000 others out there today you can trade.
Maybe there's going to be, there'll be thousands of opportunities. If you force a trade now, you're really just making a mistake for yourself. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again for joining us today, and we'll have you back again soon. Thank you, Bubba.
Thank you, Howard. I appreciate it. And great to be on. I'm glad to see Big Steve is back.
Thanks.